say 9. Hello there, very good evening to you. You are watching the press preview. Of course, it's a first look at what's on the front pages as they arrive here at the Sky News Centre. Time to see what's making the headlines. We're joined tonight by the columnist Carole Malone and the political editor of the Liverpool Echo, Liam Thorp. There they both are. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be with us in just a few minutes' time, and they're joining us until midnight tonight. Let's start by seeing what's on some of those front pages for you, though. Starting with the newspaper, it reports tonight that NHS doctors are stranded in the conflict in Sudan because they don't have UK citizenship and they've been refused help being airlifted. The Guardian tomorrow leads with a warning from the Chief Inspector of Constabulary that a Scotland Yard could be failing to spot serial killers because it's not properly investigating unexpected deaths. The Times tomorrow leads with the latest crackdown on gambling, which is aimed at saving young people from addiction. The Mirror leads with a story about the effects of the famine in East Africa with the headline, "Please help us." EI Adio, we've done the cup. That is how the Metro reports that train drivers are to strike on the very day that two big Manchester football clubs descend on Wembley for the FA Cup final on June the 3rd. And in reaction to that, the Express asks just how cynical can rail unions be, while the Mail tomorrow labels the action as vindictive. The Financial Times leads with news that Tory Eurosceptics are angry about a government plan to abandon a review of all EU laws currently on the UK statute book. And the Telegraph speaks to Baroness Philomela Benjamin about the coronation and her role, which she says proves the King embraces diversity. Final one for you. The Star tomorrow claims that scientists in Mexico have found the mummified body of a goblin. Quick reminder for you that by scanning the QR code you'll see on screen during the programme, you can check out the front page of tomorrow's papers while you watch with us. Well, as I said earlier, we're joined now by Carole Malone and Liam Thorp. Let's say hi to both of them. Thanks so much for staying up late on Thursday night to talk to us. We do appreciate it. And we've got the front pages ready for you waiting. Let's start with the Metro, why don't we? EI Adio, we've done the cup. Pretty good headline. Well, Liam, what do you think? Start with you first.
So this is obviously the story of two new sets of train strikes that have been announced today. One is of the ASLEF union, which represents the drivers, who are in their own long-running dispute with multiple operators, and that is going to affect the FA Cup final in June between Manchester United and Manchester City. And then we have the continuing RMT strikes, which is going to affect the Eurovision Song Contest, which is, of course, being hosted where I currently am in Liverpool. So it's huge disruption, and this is obviously what strikes are designed to do. These are two of the biggest events that the UK will host in the coming months, and obviously there's a lot of frustration because you'll have loads of fans going down from Manchester to London on June the 3rd, and of course you'll have loads and loads of people coming up to Liverpool for the Eurovision Song Contest throughout that weekend on that final on the Saturday. I think, look, from the union's perspective, they will have wanted this settled a long time ago. They will have not wanted to do this. You'll see some other front pages that say that that claim that they seem to be enjoying this. They will have wanted this resolved, and they are saying that, particularly in ASLEF's case, it was a derisory offer of 4% when inflation is running at 10%. And from the RMT's perspective, they said that the rail delivery group, which represents the operators, has effectively torpedoed any kind of deal by including a clause that would mean that they would be unable to strike or unable to vote on striking going forward. So kind of taking away their industrial mandate. Does seem like there's some hijinks going on. Look, I'm a football fan, and I'm obviously hugely excited about Eurovision being here in Liverpool, and I want it to be a massive success for this city. But I also do fundamentally believe in the right to strike, and if you are going to strike, you have to make the biggest impact, and boy, they're going to do that on these 2 days.
Yeah, I'd love to find out what your readers think of it in just a few minutes, but let's bring Carole in now. And it's not just the Metro, we've got the Daily Express and also the Daily Mail leading with this. Let's have a look at the Daily Express's headline. Just how cynical can rail unions be? I mean, it's obvious what their position is. What's yours, Carole? And what do you think general public are feeling about this?
Oh, I think the general public will be losing patience there. But I thought it was very funny how Liam, who does fundamentally agree with people's right to strike, but whose heart will be breaking currently about the fact that the football is going to be disrupted. You did well not to cry there, Liam. It was good. Anyway, I'm with my paper and I'm with the Mail on this. I think it's vindictive. And yes, Liam says it's strikes are designed to cause the maximum effect. Yes, they are. But you know what? This is hurting working people. This is, I'm sorry, the noise you can hear now is my dog Murphy, who's just eaten and he's playing with his toy and he won't shut up. Stop it.
We're going to have to meet Murphy at the end of the pay-per-view, I think, but carry on now.
Well, because he's probably going to jump on me before I finish talking about it because he wants to play. But anyway, no, but I mean, I think it's really, really vindictive and naughty, and I think the public sympathy is wearing thin now. This is hurting people on, there's not much fun for anybody at the moment. Really, there's not. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's, this cost of living crisis, money is tight. And here they are on the days where they could do and see something that would be fun and that would be uplifting, and it's going to be spoiled for many people, especially the Eurovision Song Contest. A lot of Ukrainian refugees will be making their way there to see this contest is being held in their honour in this country. We're hosting it, and this is going to be a massive disappointment if these people can't get to see their country represented in this country. It's shocking, and it is cynical, and it is vindictive, and I really do think the public are getting weary of this now. And Liam said before that a lot of these unions want the strikes resolved. Oh, please, come on. ASLEF, these are the train drivers who are earning 60 grand a year. So 4% might be derisory to someone on half of that, but it sure as hell ain't when you're on 60 grand a year and you work a 4-day week. They could have solved this. They're just being bloody because they want to mess with the Tories. And I think that's why I think it's shocking as well, apart from the fact it's hurting working people.
And your readers, Liam, how do you think they feel about this? I mean, they might not care about not being able to watch the two big Manchester clubs battle it out down in Wembley, but what about the Eurovision? I mean, it's going to put Liverpool on the map, isn't it? And if it's going to affect people getting there, are your readers' patience going to start running thin?
No, I don't think so. No, Liverpool is as cities go, it probably has one of the proudest traditions of industrial action, and that you will regularly find people out on picket lines, and it's an important part of the culture here in Liverpool. There's no doubt that it will have an impact on what is a huge event for the city of Liverpool. We're extremely proud to be hosting Eurovision on behalf of Ukraine, and it's a massive moment for the city. But I think ingrained in most Scousers is that fundamental right to strike. And as I said before, it's painful, and this is going to directly affect us. But these people have been involved in this dispute for a long time. I've been and spoken to many rail workers on picket lines who are really just unable to make ends meet at the moment. And they're not going to. Yeah, well, you can talk about the train drivers, but obviously, what about the people? The guards, the people on the trains earning a lot less than that as well, and they're really struggling. And
train drivers are mainly ASLEF.
They're not good. Yeah, but RMT is also obviously on strike as well. They're not going to give up now, and they want to make the biggest impact. It's difficult. It's very difficult.
You're talking about your city being proud to host the Eurovision Song Contest, but this is going to mess it up for your city. Do you not care about that? This is another chance to put Liverpool on the map, to put your proud city on the map, and it's going to be messed up by these guys on 60 grand a year who don't need.
I think if you came, Carole, if you came here and you spoke to most people, they would say that they fully back people who are fighting for a fair wage against rising inflation, huge cost of energy. They want a fair wage, and if the government and the rail delivery group wanted to settle this, they would have done a long time ago. They have dragged it out.
Just by caving into the union demands all the time. How's that going to work, Liam, if the government cave into every union demand? This country is in massive trouble at the moment, and if all the people get the money that they want, inflation is never going to go down. We know that.
Look, at the end of the day, these people work hard every day. They are our public services. If they are absolutely essential, which they are proving now, if they are absolutely essential workers because they need to get people to major events on major days because the railways are utterly essential to that, then you have to pay them what they believe they deserve. And these
you don't, because what people believe,
the union barons. You can go on about the union barons like you like to do, but at the end of the day, ordinary working people voted for this mandate, and they still have this mandate, and they're going to continue with it until they believe that they're getting a fair wage.
I'm going to jump in because as interesting as this is, and it really is, we want to have a look at some more of the front pages, if you don't mind, because we're going to run out of time. Let's have a look at the I front page for you now, the I newspaper, going on a completely different story, talking about, of course, the situation in Sudan and the evacuations that we've been covering on Sky News the last few days. It leads with the story that NHS doctors stranded in Sudan after after UK refuses airlift. It goes on to say NHS medics without UK citizenship are set to be left behind after being barred from the airlift. The British government has decided that opening up Khartoum evacuation flights to health service doctors would be too complex in the limited time frame left to complete the operation safely. No right of reply, it seems, on that front page. But, Carole, I mean, this sounds pretty outrageous. What do you think about this, Carole?
It sounds astonishing to me. I can't believe it. Presumably these NHS doctors are out there helping with the crisis. And ones who don't have a British passport are being told, no, you can't come back. If that is the case and they're out there to help with this crisis, it is outrageous. You know, this is shocking on every level. We know that some of the Brits have come back today. We know, I think it's about 897 have come back today, but there are still potentially thousands more Brits out there. And you know, this is fast turning into a humanitarian crisis. You know, we know that many Brits who are making their way to the points where they catch the evacuation flights, they're having to walk hundreds of miles, and they're being robbed and they're being attacked and they're frightened for their life. They're frightened of being shot. You know, we've got troops on the ground to provide security at the airports, but not for those Brits who are making their way to the airports. You know, so it is shocking. And you know, we're hearing reports now that the situation in Khartoum is really bad. You know, hospitals where lots of people are being admitted, Brits as well, you know, they're running out of medication. The electricity is going off. The heating is going off. The food is running out. This is going to turn into something terrible in the next few days. And Brits are going to be caught up in that. And if we have people out there working for the NHS and trying to help, they should be brought back. You know, if we can get our diplomats out in time, if we can get Foreign Office people out in time, we can sure as hell get doctors out in time.
Liam, what do you make of this?
Yeah, for once, I'm in total agreement with Carole on that one. I think it's absolutely scandalous. You know, these people, they may not have British citizenship, but they have the same rights as a British national. They are out there. They are just unlucky enough to have been in Sudan, you know, either working or visiting, and they are now. You know, the government has said in a very kind of casual response they will be able to make an exit through other exit points. Well, those other exit points involve a 500-mile perilous journey to, you know, into Egypt or through the port. This is about as dangerous a journey as you could have in the world right now, with obviously the outbreak of fighting between the military and the militia there. It's a shocking position for an NHS staff member to be in, and the government has been found wanting on this. You know, other countries we've seen, like Germany, who were much faster to act on this. They completed their evacuations by Tuesday. We are still going. We're still way behind. And now the government, because it's scrabbling, is now having to make these ridiculously difficult decisions and ridiculously wrong decisions, which will leave NHS staff out in Sudan fighting for their lives on their own.